We now have the presentation by Shri Joydip Sanyal, Product Line Manager, Circular and Rectangular Metal Smiths Interconnect. Previously spent 13 plus years in ABB as a global project manager, Mr. Joydip received his master's in product design and management for University in Liverpool. And we invite you, sir, for your presentation. Over to you.
Good day to everyone. The topic for my presentation today is challenges and opportunities with connectivity for a sustainable rail network. My name is Joydip Sanyal. I'm the product line manager for circular and rectangular connectors with Smiths Interconnect. I'm going to spend a little bit of time firstly to introduce Smiths Interconnect before I come on to the core topic. Smiths as a group was founded in 1851. It's one of the top 100 companies listed in the London Stock Exchange, headquartered in London. It's a world leader in practical application for advanced technologies. It's got over 15,000 employees. We are operating in more than 50 countries with revenues slightly more than 2.5 billion pounds. We are, for you, a global partner for innovative connectivity solutions. Now, as a global organization, we are organized into multiple divisions and business units. The two business units that draw relevance from a product standpoint for the railway industry is the connectors business unit, where I belong, and the fiber optics and RF components. Smiths Interconnect as a division has grown out of acquiring a lot of legacy, well-known product brands. Particularly when we talk about railway, the Hypertac brand is quite well known for providing superior performing electrical connectors with hyperboloid contacts. Smiths Interconnect is dotted around different parts of the world. We have got sales offices in 15 countries. We have got over 15 manufacturing facilities and 17 research development and technology centers. When we talk about India, we are growing very fast and we have got an office in Bangalore. Coming on to our facility certification, the factory certification, to provide quality and compliant products, our factories are approved for IRIS, by IRIS, and other relevant ISO certificates required, as I said, to provide you with quality and compliant products. In terms of global capabilities, as a global organization with over 60 years of experience in focusing in the railway industry globally, as you can imagine, we have got capabilities, whether it's from engineering to prototyping to manufacturing and test and qualification. Now, coming on to the segments and applications that we focus within the railway market. Our products are applicable for a wide range of applications. You name it, whether it's rolling stock for safety, control and command, rolling stock for power distribution, signaling and infrastructure. So you name it, we have got a product that fits into systems that go into these applications. And in working closely with system designers, we ensure that our product meets the quality and the international standards required by the railway industry, whether it is, as I said, in the IRIS certification from a factory standpoint, ROS certification, or any of the international standards required from a product standpoint. Now, one of the things that we regularly do is to closely work with our customers to understand the system requirements to ensure that the connectors that we are providing does meet the stringent requirements of the system for the application. Now, that was a very quick overview of the business. I'll give you a very fast whistle tour on our portfolio before I come on to the core topic. Connectors as a business unit provides application-specific, high reliability electrical interconnect solutions for highly integrated assemblies to micro-miniaturized connectors and spring probes. In terms of the portfolio tailored for the railway industry, I'm not going to labor on each of these products, but very quickly, on one side, you've got the plastic connectors for environmental seal, rectangular plastic connectors to circular metal connectors to transponders, circular metal connectors for signaling system, to rack and panel mount connectors, to modular connectors, onto heavy duty connectors, heavy duty modular connectors to transformer series, high power transformer series required to operate trains. So as you see very quickly, we have got products going into variety of different systems required for the railway, different railway applications. Now, given that quick understanding of who we are and our domain expertise, I want to spend a little bit of time in talking about the challenges and opportunities. Now, as you can imagine, there are a variety of different topics that we could pull in this discussion, but there are 2 points that are close to our heart. One is firstly talking about safety and how does signal integrity play a central role in in case of safety. And the second point that we want to really talk about is about miniaturization. So let me first talk about signal integrity for safety. Now, when we are talking about safety, we have to ensure that we are designing cable connections to reduce maintenance whilst ensuring that there are no electrical failures. And in doing so, we have to avoid in creating near-end and far-end crosstalks. Because when these systems does get into an eventuality, although none of us desire any safety-related incidents, but from a design standpoint, it is an eventual event, is a conceivable event. We have to make sure that the systems do operate in case of a safety events. For example, if there's a fire, the doors should be opening, or the braking system should operate without failure. So in such eventualities, the system has to operate without failure. So one of the key aspects of the requirements of designing electrical system is to ensure that the product does comply with fire and smoke requirements. Now, when we comply to that standard, in essence, the railway cables becomes larger from an external envelope standpoint, and it also gets a larger internal dielectric diameter as well. On the other hand, there is a general trend within the industry from a system design standpoint to miniaturize so that we are able to make things lighter. We can fit many more things to able to get a lot more data to manage the systems efficiently and optimally. But in doing so, the consequence of that is that we are making the cable, the copper end of the cable, smaller and smaller. What this means is that the smaller electrical interconnection interface has to maintain the same cable impedance. Now, this is a key aspect to avoid impedance mismatching, and that may disturb contact transmission. So this is something we have to do to ensure that the systems are operating safely. Now, when you look at the same topic from a termination standpoint, we have to make sure that the robust interconnection system from cable connection to electrical contact connection, we have to ensure from a crosstalk standpoint that it's 360-degree EMC shielding thanks to low ground contact resistance that we provide. And this is to ensure, as I said, to secure the signal and the contact resistance and avoid losing data is quite important to have robust and reliable contact, particularly not only on a day-to-day operation standpoint, but particularly, as I said, in cases where again, none of us want it, but We have to design system for this conceivable eventuality that the system must operate robustly in such cases. Now, fundamental to this discussion is the technology of contact. Now, this is where Smith's Interconnect's technology capabilities play best. We specialize in a contact technology called hyperbeloy technology. Now, our connectors are tested to EN 61373 and comply with at least level 2, category level 2, including an installation simulation on bogies to ensure that the connectors and the contacts have been designed to the application needs. Our products are submitted to rail qualification program and are tested accordingly. RF performance, attenuation, return loss, and crosstalks are regularly checked from a product when we are designing the products during the qualification program. So since we understand the importance of these specification from an overall system design standpoint, we ensure that these aspects of the products have been thoroughly tested and checked and qualified before those products goes into customer systems. The second topic, as I said, I'm going to talk about is about miniaturization. Now, as data plays a vital role in managing system and getting more data, faster data plays a wider role, we are seeing a tremendous trend in many more systems coming on board the trains. Now, when we are designing systems like that, when we are putting in more equipment in the train's cabinets, then size of a connector plays quite a vital role in the overall system design and the architecture of the design. Now, Smith's Interconnect does specialize in rack and panel mount architecture that allows you to make the cabling and the system architecture neat and tidy and take less space. Over here on the picture, you see our 2 generation of products. This is the current generation. This is a new generation coming on board. Now, both these rack and panel mount connectors are applicable for applications like sensors, whether you're talking about pressure, voltage, current, temperature, for power electronics like inverters, choppers, or actuators like valves, relays, supplies, and networks. Now, through our deep understanding of the application requirements and the better use of materials and improved creepage and clearance distance design, we have managed to reduce the size of the connectors by 30% than the ones that are widely available in the market. What does this mean? So when you're designing a system, a cabinet, the rack and panel mount architecture does dominate many of the architecture that we have seen. But with PCB mount connectors and with a smaller PCB mount connector with the same specification, you're able to miniaturize the entire system and therefore allowing to reduce weight and therefore not having to have a dead weight being carried across on the trains. And secondly, what that helps you to do is to put in, without expanding and taking up passenger spaces, you can basically put in more equipment in the same space that you were using previously. So let me show you through a couple of pictures actually. The picture that you see on the right has been the standard architecture that we have seen in variety of different countries, in various countries in the train architecture. But the one on the left is the new architecture, whereas as you can see, none of the cables are sitting outside. They're nicely in a cabinet and the connectors are sitting outside. And it's a neat, much smaller architecture than what we have predominantly seen in the past. So we have worked very closely with many of the global key players and have been working to replace cable connections by a PCB direct connection to allow to delete many of the interconnections that you would otherwise have an increasing number of contacts, whilst miniaturizing, but increasing at the same level, the number of contacts to allow to maximize the use of smaller spaces. Uh, and as I said, from an overall system standpoint, this massively reduces weight, gives you more space, and in many cases, that space can be utilized for increasing passenger or commuters um, seating or entertainment system or anything else of that nature. So let me then quickly walk you through a few examples that we have worked very closely with many customers, as I said, globally. The first one I want to talk about is a C series for train braking system. Now, these connectors are EMC metal shell connectors for high vibration requirements, for high shock and vibration proof, corrosion resistance, protection against electromagnetic interference, and suitable for all railway cables. It's ruggedized shell for server environment for extreme severe environments like IP67 sealing level. When it comes to doors or connectors for the system, REP has been one of those products that have been have had major requirements or kind of demand across multiple countries. It's an environmentally sealed plastic connector for train door control systems. It's overmolded silicon grommet, and the sealing ensures safe connectivity in severe environmental conditions like IP67 requirements, and not to kind of and also to stress on the hyperboloid contact technology that ensures high reliability and long life cycle in harsh and vital environments, like door application, wiper application, so on and so forth. And finally, another connector for going into the signaling system called the BOA series. This heavy-duty circular connector has been dominating many of the signaling system designed in Europe. It ensures reliable signal integrity, perfect for transmission of data between rail track and rail equipment, um, and making sure that it operates without failing in those kind of harsh conditions, and operating and giving a reliable service to many of the systems that's connected through it. So those are a very quick overview of our examples of some of the connectors that we have specialized over many years, have been giving customers a reliable, or helping them to design and operate reliable systems at the back of these cable and connector systems. We, as I said, have got over 60 years of experience in this industry. So if there are any application needs or challenging needs that you are finding difficult to solve, do reach out to us. As I said, we are based out of India, trying to serve the Indian railway market. So do reach out to us, and will be more than happy to work with you closely for designing systems and solutions that meets your application needs. With that, I thank you for your time, for listening to us, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.